Psychic Mist Paranormal Network.
Hi, this is Cheryl with Psychic Mist. Today I'm going to share the results of a paranormal investigation that we did in February 2020. The names and places will be withheld to respect the privacy of our clients. We had a lot of really cool stuff, so stay tuned. Let me tell you about it. This investigation is really unique because there were many ghosts, a portal, and even an evil spirit. First, I would like to give you the particulars about the investigation so you know exactly what it is we were going into. I have a lot of incredible evidence to show you. The owners of the house moved out after living there for like 40 years, and they did that because things were getting kind of hairy and dangerous in this place. The activity in this house actually got worse several years before we even got called in to investigate. The activity became even more severe after the owner's mother moved in with them. The activity was always at its worst between 2 and 5 a.m. Owners would often hear voices, including a group of people speaking back and forth to each other, both male and female. Huge shadows that would block half a room were observed by one of the residents. There would be a large variety of noises going on, including knocks, running and loud stomping, and even things being knocked over or thrown at the people. The basement was a place that held a lot of fear for the family. They said they were absolutely terrified to go into the basement. There was an awful lot of activity there. I'd like to take a moment to explain the old haunted attic and basement cliche. Basements and attics are where the living spend the least amount of time, if any time at all. Therefore, it is a more private place for the ghost to take up residence. Ghosts will feel that you are invading their space when you walk into the area that they claim as their own. The most disturbing issue with this haunting is the amount of power that the evil entity possessed. This entity had the power to oppress and manipulate the mood and personality of a person. The woman who resided in the home is a very gentle, kind, and loving person, but over time her personality began to change, and she became more angry, aggressive, and quick-tempered. Evil spirits can manipulate people this way. In this paranormal case, the spirit was not demonic, but was an evil entity. The power to oppress someone like this is truly frightening, but it gets worse. When the owners of the house finally left, the majority of their belongings and furniture were still there. The owner's adult grandson was planning on staying in the house until everything could get packed up, as they didn't want the house to seem abandoned. The very first night that he was there, he experienced paranormal phenomena, and it was unnerving, but it was nothing like the second night he was there. The grandson explained the experiences as being very terrifying, so on the second night, he and his girlfriend both stayed there together. Before I tell you what happened on this very terrifying night, which happened to be the breaking point of this case, let me introduce you to the Lady in Black. The Lady in Black is the description that the family uses to describe the evil entity. The spirit wears what the family describes as a 17th century black gown and veil. The entity appears as a woman that is short and petite. This Lady in Black did not seem to want to haunt or taunt the men. As a matter of fact, she kind of wanted to snuggle up to them. There were times when the elderly man of the house would feel something that would start at the end of his bed and then kind of snake its way up, work its way up to like his face and touch his face or his chest, non-aggressively. This brings me back to the grandson when they spent the second night at the house after his grandparents vacated it. They were in bed asleep when around midnight the grandson heard his girlfriend talking to someone in her sleep. At around 2:30 a.m., the girlfriend abruptly awoken to some invisible force grabbing her arm. Not long after someone grabbed her arm, she was violently shoved into her boyfriend, waking him up. Somewhere between 3 and 4:30 in the morning, the girlfriend had a chilling dream where she saw the lady in black in the bedroom closet dressing in the grandfather's clothing. This is a first for me, a cross-dressing evil entity. So in the girlfriend's dream, after she saw the lady in black turned her head to look at the girlfriend and stared at her, told her to get out, to leave, and not return. After the lady in black told the girlfriend to leave, she was heading to the door when something charged behind her and grabbed her, pulled her down, and started to drag her. Sounds like a scene right out of Paranormal Activity. At this point, the girlfriend woke up quite distressed. She had pain in her hand and a fingerprint was left on her wrist. What happened next was the most ominous incident. Around 5 a.m., the grandson woke to find his girlfriend sitting up in bed with her eyes wide open, just staring. He noticed right away that there was something wrong with his girlfriend. She seemed to be totally unresponsive and in a trance-like state. All she would do was stare. The grandson tried to get his girlfriend to talk. She turned and looked at him, but with a dead stare. And this freaked him out because when he saw her eyes, they were all dark. After a moment of shock, the grandson turned to his girlfriend and said, "You're not," and said her name. And she just kind of smirked at him. She finally snapped out of this semi-possessed state and spoke to the boyfriend as herself. She told him that they needed to get out, to leave and not return. The girlfriend used the same exact words as she heard from the lady in black in her nightmare's dream. The grandson's girlfriend had absolutely no recollection of what happened. This ordeal is especially distressing because the lady in black has to be a wickedly dominant presence in order to semi-possess the girlfriend. The lady in black took advantage of this girl's unprotected psychic state in her dream environment. The girl is not a practicing psychic, but she is suspicious that she does indeed possess some level of psychic ability. After this tormenting experience, the grandson and girlfriend left the house. The family called in a priest to bless the house, but that didn't work. The family even had a shaman come in, but the lady in black remained ever present, and so did the other spirits in the house. It was at this point that I received the call to go investigate and see what we could do to remove the entities. We had a few possible leads to start with. A man that resided in the home over 4 decades ago passed away in that house. There was also a woman that lived right next door many years ago that appeared to be involved in something dark. She even went through 3 husbands with mysterious deaths. The family had a basement full of old antiques from World War II. Some of the antiques were also scattered throughout the house. The brother of the owner of the house had a large collection of these World War II items, and the owners inherited them when the brother passed away. This was a very extraordinary and complex case. When we arrived, the family greeted us very warmly and kindly. They told us that none of them has stepped foot back in that house since the time that the girlfriend and the grandson left after the frightening experience they had there. The woman of the house that was slowly oppressed by the lady in black was back to her normal personality, and this happened right after they permanently left the home. One of the first things that my team and I noticed as soon as we walked into the house was that the atmosphere, the air, was just very dark and very heavy, and it was literally very hard to breathe in that house. We knew that we had a very challenging night ahead of us, without a doubt. There are several sets of EVPs throughout this video, and I highly suggest that you use a decent set of headphones because some of them are really hard to hear. Some of them sound robotic, some of them are syllabic. So there's a whole bunch of different kinds, and a lot of them are hard to hear without headphones. So in the clip you're about to see, you'll see us using our SLS camera. We did get one of the ghosts that were in the house that was attached to one of the World War II items, and you'll hear some EVPs too. It's pretty neat. Check it out. If you stand in front of this camera, I can see you. It's just a strong feeling over here.
Mm-hmm.
Very strong. Are you connected with one of these objects? If you are, can you stand by that object for me? What is it that you're standing by?
Standing right there in the corner, right?
Over here?
Yeah.
So is there an object over here? Can you put your hand or point to the object that you like? Or that you came here with? Can you point to it, please? Is there more than one person here? Can you join that person? Is it okay that we're here? Do you mind us being here? Is there another person here? Are you human? Are you human? Why are you here? Have you been here a long time? Did it always smell this color? Am I just noticing it? It just smells like someone just did the laundry. Was this your house before? Is that what it is? Are you not happy that people are here? Really smells like a
Yeah. No, it definitely does.
Like they just got done doing a fresh load of laundry.
Yeah, even over here. Nah, it didn't smell like this before.
Well, what do we have? I saw you. There you go. Hi. Were you the one down here doing laundry? Are you a female? Can you put your hand up if you're a female? Are you the lady who wears black? Are you a male? Put your hand up if you're a male. Thank you. Oh, there's another one. So there's two of you. Did you come here through a portal? Are you friendly? Can you put your hand up if you're friendly? Do you have a recorder?
Mm-hmm.
Are you not friendly? Do you want us to leave? Put your hand up if you want us to leave. Someone's doing a jig over here. You still here with us? I don't know that I feel a portal. It's the whole thing. I'm trying to look for something.
So, when you first were telling me about this, I got a sense of like attachment to something.
There was something there.
Yeah, I just saw it there.
No, what is that? Is that something, or is it picking something up? I don't see it. You still here? No, the one said go. Then it sounded like they said here. Random. The last EVP that you heard, the word random, we were just talking about some random EVPs that were coming through that didn't seem to make any sense with what we were doing. And then we got the EVP random. So that was funny. I thought I'd include it. So we were making a sweep upstairs with the SLS camera, holding it, and you could see our other investigator there. And we briefly stopped to speak to the homeowner, which had a question for us. And you can see down on the SLS in the left-hand corner, we had a very quick appearance by one of the ghosts who I guess were trying to check us out. Well, we have a ghost box running down there, so they can manipulate that to talk to us easier. So you will hear voices, don't get upset if you hear them. So I heard a noise coming from one of the back rooms. I went in there and I found this shadow going across the wall. I was stationary, I was not moving. So apparently there was quite a bit of activity going on in the rooms upstairs, even though that wasn't the hot spot, but this was a pretty active house. So I'm going to share some of these snapshots with you now. Here are some EVPs that I think that you'll enjoy. Turn it back on. Hopefully it'll be reset. Someone could take that. Someone take this. What prevents you from moving on? Why do you stay here? Are you waiting for something? So maybe you can. So if they know my parents? I don't think so. Take notice the two circled green spots on this screenshot. Kind of looks like a big green blob. Our investigator is what the camera is picking up, but the green blob can be seen on the right camera screen, circling her head around her neck. You can also see a shadow move around her as well, yet our investigator remains stationary. We cannot recreate this. The lady in black has encompassed the living's spirit energy on many occasions, so this may very well be her. So here are some more EVPs that we got throughout the night. I asked a whole bunch of questions. I asked them who they are. You know what I mean? Like, try to get to the bottom of it. So are you just going to go down and you're going to go? Is there a portal here? So when our investigator asked if there was a portal, the ghost answered and said, "Drop that," which meant that they didn't want us to know anything about the portal because they probably didn't want us to close it. When we heard "drop that," that was kind of a dead giveaway. No pun intended. And then, of course, we found this EVP when we asked, where the portal was, and they didn't want to tell us. So we definitely knew that they were trying to protect their method of moving maybe about the house, because you can move in different places through the home with the portal, but also back and forth to whatever dimension that particular portal comes from. Can you tell me where it is? What is it that you say? Where do you think that is? Like, I'm afraid if I move it, it'll, like, right.
The opposite, right?
Yeah. I got it here. I wonder if I move it, if I can get it in the frame. Wait, that's the opposite.
Like right in front of the TV?
Maybe, yeah. It is. Hi. Can you hear us? Are you the lady that wears the black dress? Are you someone else? Can you raise your hand if you're a female? What the hell is it doing? Oh, no, don't go away. Are you evil? I want to talk to the lady in black. I want to know why you're here. I say cuz.
Mm-hmm.
Are you alive? Are you dead?
You're dead.
Do you want us to stay and talk with us? Time waste?
Time waste.
Well,
It's
so you're trying to tell us that we're wasting our time being here? Do you know what we want? Nicole, where you at? That doesn't look like her, does it? Move again, Nicole. Move over. Wait, that ain't you. That's Nicole. Alright, what other approach can I take with this? Yes, I would like you to explain. I would like you to explain to us why you're here. Oh, there's somebody over there.
It's a washroom.
Washroom? Okay. Alright, so we're in the washroom. Are you in the washroom? Did something happen to you? Hi. If I'm right, can you put your hand up? Is that a hand up?
It looked like it.
Alright. Were you a slave? Put your hand up. Were you tortured? Is that a yes? Are you the person who was out there standing by one of those antiques? Are you the same person? Check these EVPs out.
Can you put your hand or point to an object that you like?
What part of the house do you stay in all the time? Will you be willing to leave the house if we can help you? Why do you only pick on the women? Are you jealous? Are you evil? Don't you just love EVPs, especially when they give you a chill? Well, here's some more. Archangel Michael, please bring
the entities in his home cared about, take them home. You need to know who you are. You need to know why you don't want to leave. Or call upon the spirit of the woman who presents herself in a long black gown. Testing.
Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good.
The next EVP is actually a set of 5 EVPs. They all kind of sound jumbled up, mushed together because of the kind of EVPs they are. So after you hear the original, I'm going to separate them into the 5 separate EVPs so you can hear them better. Enjoy!
You can also speak to us.
So at some point in the investigation, during a break, we were talking something that had to do with fashion, and one of our investigators was like, I'm slow with fashion. And apparently the entities were listening.
I'm feeling aggression.
This next DVP is awesome. You know why? Because we were talking about all the World War II items that were in the corner. There was a lot of different bottles and different things like airplanes and figurines. And one of the entities said that he was in the bottle. So we're getting ready to do a cleansing circle, and this is where we meditate and communicate psychically to try to rid the premises of the spirits. And coming up, you will see what I call a true orb. It's an orb that comes out of the area that's lit up behind the door, which is the washroom. There's nobody in there. The orb comes out from the washroom. You'll see it past the hot water heater, and then it will head into the room that we're in and over to the left by one of our investigators. First, you'll see it at regular speed, and then I have it in slow motion, which you won't be able to see the orb quite as good in slow motion, so you might want to watch it again, but it's really cool. So check it out. While we speak with these souls, these entities, we call upon the spirit of the woman who presents herself in a long black gown. To the spirits who dwell in this home, we wish to speak with you. can speak using the recorder again. And one of our pieces of equipment, you can also speak to us. I'm feeling aggression. Try to pull energy right into the middle of our little circle that we have right now. And let's see if we can pull the energy right there. Whether you know or not, these are deceased. These are not of this world anymore. Living in this home is not of this world. That is why you cannot find peace. It's time for you to move on. Archangel Michael, could you please bring deceased entities or people that the entities in this home cared about? Please bring them in to take them home. Nobody's here to hurt you. I see some horrible face that appears like an old person that just turns into like a distorted, like horrible looking thing that has these teeth and these like still trying to go at me. And I don't know where that's coming from. I kind of picked that up a little earlier when I told I see there's like pentagrams, and then I picked it up when we first got here and I said I heard you screaming. There's something that's, maybe she's something that we don't think she is. So in this clip, you just heard me saying that I saw the lady in black psychically turn into some kind of crazy being with claws and teeth, and she was kind of clawing out at me. It was really kind of crazy. So what's really pretty cool here is the next clip I'm about to show you, because we got the lady in black on one of our thermal cameras, and she actually morphed into something that I think looks like a djinn, which is evil. But it's pretty cool, so I'm going to show you that before we continue on with the clearing circle, because we got some cool things in that too. So enjoy! So here's a 12-second clip that shows some pretty amazing dark morphing energy. The lady in black is an evil entity that has the capability to morph, and this is what she's doing in this clip. Shape-shifting energy like this has the freedom to change at will and to do it quickly. It also feeds off other energy to gain mass and ability. I'll show you this clip again in slow motion and explain to you a little bit about what's going on. Keep your focus on the right screen of the camera at all times. See anything unusual? I'll have still shots for you to look at after the slow-mo. So what you'll be seeing here is morphing black evil energy. So here's the lady in black, and poof, now she's an evil being of some sort. So in a minute you'll see our male investigator appearing on the screen. He'll be on the left, there he is, and you can see the black energy just moving around. The black energy stays focused on the investigator, and there's a little girl that just appeared on the right, and the evil entities in the middle. Everything keeps changing. It just keeps swirling around. The energy keeps touching. Now the faces are blacked out with the evil energy. It keeps going back and forth. And now, once again, the little girl disappears because there's energy of her. Up, she's back. You will see the evil entity was just reaching out to touch the investigator. She keeps her focus on him. She's all around him, but that's what she always went after, all the guys in the house. She kind of has like a hat, which is like a veil hat on, but it keeps morphing. There's above the investigator was just a picture of other energy that came in with the same kind of figure with the hat. And then there's another energy that appears behind the investigator that comes out from like behind the wall there on the door. So it looks like that's starting to happen now. And then it turns kind of into, it looks like a female energy that's right above or next to the male investigator. I'm going to show you a few significant snapshots of the video so you can see them better and see exactly what I'm talking about. So here is the lady in black in her human form. And poof, she turns into this evil being with horns or something. And you can see she looks like she has no legs, kind of like a genie, maybe a djinn, which is an evil genie, which would also explain a lot in this case. In this pic, our investigator is on the left, and the dark energy is in the middle, which is directly in front of him. A little girl makes an appearance on the right. She comes and goes in this clip. So this picture's a little creepy. Here you can see the evil entity leaning in toward our investigator and reaching out to touch his arm. The entity's energy can move and go where it wants at will. It doesn't have to stay a part of one singular body of energy. In this picture, part of the entity's energy is over the face of our investigator and covering the little girl completely. This picture shows the investigator's head covered with the lady in black's energy again, and she is once again reaching out to touch our investigator. She has two appendages touching both of his arms this time. The lady in black's head is peeking out from her veil, or what almost looks like a hat with a veil. It appears as though she has light-colored hair. Take note, her arm is still reaching out for our investigator. You can see the lady in black's hat with a long blue veil flowing down the back in this picture. The little girl on the right is there again, and she's easy to see. Here's a close-up of the lady in black entity's shape. You can see her hat, her mouth is open, and arms are still reaching out. It almost looks like she's trying to consume our investigator, which in a way she is doing. She is feeding off his energy and growing much stronger. Our intuitive investigator is now leaning into the energy. The entity's energy is forming a mirror opposite doppelganger behind our investigator. Take note of the form above the investigator. It is the lady in black facing the opposite direction, yet most of her energy is still with our investigator. So here we are back to the lady in black touching the investigator with both appendages. This is another frame though. Notice the black spot and tiny face behind the investigator. It appears as though another entity is curious and checking out the situation. Now we're back at the close-up of the entity known as the Lady in Black. The curious other entity is now in the room. You can see the top of what looks like a female right next to the investigator. So an awful lot can happen in just 12 seconds. You always have to be on the lookout. The lady in black definitely interacted with our investigators. He felt her presence several times, and he did feel his arms being touched during the evening. We're waiting for the lady in black to confront the females on the investigation, but even though we felt her presence and the other presence of the other spirits pretty good, she never confronted us at all. Just kind of hung out with the guys. And now, back to our regularly scheduled program. Let's go back to the clip with the clearing circle. There's some cool things. Right, is this an easier way for you to communicate with us?
Who are you? You're hiding something. What is it? Yeah. I forget something. What are you hiding and why? How long have you been in this house? Are you from a different dimension? How many people are here? He's not his brother. Are you one of the spirits in this house? How long have you been in this house? Children, adoption, and the infant. Right? Did you hear that? All right. So what happened? Whose children? Who are we talking about? Does this have something to do with children? Did something happen to a child that you loved? Were you the person that was adopted?
So there's something I wanted to point out about the EVPs that you just heard, the one that said, I'm your brother, and infant, adopted, and children. And we asked, if you were the one who was adopted, and they were saying yes. So all those EVPs in there have some significance. We brought that up with the owner of the house, and it turns out her brother that passed away had been adopted as an infant. So I guess that was his way of us knowing so we could tell her and get validation. So that's pretty cool.
What year were you born? 1940? 1840? So 1840? Are you afraid you're leaving someone behind? Are you waiting for somebody? Who are you waiting for? Release yourself and go with Archangel Michael home. Time to go now. You need to be happy, right? You want to be happy? You need to go with Archangel Michael. Yes. Can you say heaven? That's where you're going. Isn't that where you want to go? No more pain, no more suffering, just happiness. What are you afraid of?
The two EVPs you just heard, women and her, I just wanted to point them out because the ghosts are apparently afraid of the woman in black.
Archangel Michael, please escort every deceased or non-human entity from this home, never to return again. You are never welcome to return here.
I have one more set of EVPs for you. Enjoy. Are you alive?
Audience.
Are you dead?
We are dead.
Are you evil?
Guys.
Are you evil?
Under the...
Do you want us to stay and talk with us?
Side list. Side list.
Do you know what we want? I think we were just called stupid. I'm gonna try and take more noise out of that. It sounded like stupid. I want to know why you're here. It really smells like someone just got done doing a load of laundry down there, and it's very strong. Mm-hmm. So far, we're only getting two at a time. This is going to take a few minutes.
Do you like this room? Somebody over there. Washroom? Okay. They said they're in the washroom, or they want us to go that way, so I'm gonna go. I want to talk to the lady in black.
The sun. The sun. The sun.
Here are some spirit pictures that we captured with our SLS camera. So here you can see what looks like a man. He has long hair. You can see his eyes, nose, and mouth. He is showing his teeth. And you can see his shoulders, his arms come down, and it looks like they're kind of folded in front of him. This looks like the lady in black. You can see two glowing eyes, a hat, and it looks like she's leaning forward. You can see part of her arm. She is manifested in several different ways throughout the investigation, so we strongly believe this to be her. Here's an interesting spirit picture. It looks like just a face. It looks kind of demonic, and it just manifested in front of the camera. Here's another face that manifested in front of a light switch, and I would say that this is pareidolia or matrixing, but it looks very similar to the picture that was right before this that just manifested in front of the camera. This picture here is very interesting as it was a black mass that formed in front of the camera, and it looks like the lady in black. You could see the hat, you could see a little bit of her face, and it looks like a long dress or some type of long black outfit that she's wearing. This looks like a black vortex, and it is very rare to get any type of vortex in a picture, but a black one seems to be even more rare than a white one. And no, we didn't have any type of lens cover or camera strap attached to any of our cameras. This is a very interesting thermal image of a profile of a spirit. Nobody was standing in front of our camera. This appeared.
If it's someone evil, get rid of them. Bring them right to the depths of hell. That's where they need to go. So are you a witch? Are you the lady in black? Raise your hand if you are. Let me know. I see you. How about if we close the portals here? We're going to clean out everything and close everything. Is that all right? Is that liar?
You touch that red light?
So the next thing I have to think of is maybe they need to pack this stuff up, remove it from the house. Maybe put it in a storage place or bring it someplace that's not to the new house. Move somewhere else. And then see if the activity calms down.
Something your brother was dabbling in, or
Could have been. Could have been. I mean,
the sick person.
oh, it's very strong in that.
Like
No.
the washroom?
It's still on. That's what I mean. It was completely dead. It's on. This is almost dead. It's on one. It's got one bar left. Say something about power.
Yeah, it's of your power.
We didn't get much in the way of ITC pictures, but we got a couple, so here they are. So we ended up making communication with several ghosts and the lady in black. Although she didn't really want to communicate much with us, she kind of just wanted to hang around us, check us out, touch our investigator, and just wanted us out of there. She didn't want us to get her out of there. As you've seen in the video, we did do a clearing circle, which took quite some time. We did release 5 of the ghosts. We tried to figure out which one of the World War II objects may have had attachments. It could have been several. There were so many objects there. There was a ton of them there. It was impossible to like really just pinpoint one or two or a few. We had a general idea of what area the objects were in, but we just couldn't pinpoint one or two in particular. We instructed the homeowners to pack up all the items and bring them to a storage unit. This way it would clear out anything that was attached, at least to the house, and they could continue moving their things out. And then they could bring one at a time, one object at a time back to wherever they're at if they wanted to keep those items to see if any activity started acting up again. So they did take our advice. They took the items out. We did, like I said, clear out 5 of the ghosts. We did close the portal in the home. We also cleansed the area, and right away you could tell that the atmosphere in the house, the energy, was not anywhere as heavy as it was when we first got there. You could actually breathe. We got pretty good results as the regular ghosts were cleansed. We do believe that the homeowner's brother did stay behind to watch over the family. As far as the lady in black, she seemed to have backed off, but we figured she'd probably still around lurking. It's not that easy to get rid of evil. So with all the evidence that we got and what we found psychically, the lady in black kind of seems to be like part of a curse or a hex of some kind. 4 months have gone by since the investigation, and the homeowners have only experienced some minor things such as whispers and the lights going on and off, and that could just be from the brother. It's funny, just as I was finishing up this video, I got a phone call from the grandson, and he wanted to give me an update. Just as we kind of thought, the lady in black is starting to reemerge, kind of making an appearance again. Only this time the activity has increased even more intensely than it was before. We're pretty sure at this point that the family is experiencing a curse of some sort, maybe even a generational curse with the new information that I got from the grandson. So we're going to go see what we can do to take care of that. Stay tuned for the next chapter in this ongoing investigation where evil dwells, literally. This is Shar with Psychic Miss Paranormal Network, and I want to thank you for watching.